Go. Blackheart's Bay. Let's see what kind of things they can come up with. First ban going to Elysian. Who do they not want to see? I'm assuming we'll see a Tracer ban just because of her inherent bonus of instantly annihilating the chest, Josh.
Yeah, I think honestly, there's a strong argument for banning Kael'thas just because he's also super annoying. But you're right. There is the context specific part of not wanting to play against Tracer, and we do get the
Yep.
ban.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised to see Kael'thas come from Prairie Esports. Since they're not first pick, I assume they don't want Elysian to get a hold of Kael'thas.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think this map is particularly like great for him, but I think
He's
it's
particularly great.
he's just particularly great. Yeah.
Yes.
So
He is definitely particularly great.
I guess we'll see. I would probably not want to play against Kale, honestly. So
No, I would not.
and
Illidan.
an Illidan.
Okay, so we might see a first pick Kale here from Elysian. It's possible that Prairie's strategy is dependent on Kale not being around, so it could be a targeted ban, possibly, but we are going to see Kael'thas snapped up real quick by Elysian. But Li Ming is still available, and I think I would argue Li Ming is probably better for this map in a lot of ways.
Then Kale.
Just from the poke. Kale, you have to get a little closer to, and he's first pick. I mean, you can deal with Kale. Li Ming's a little slipperier than Kale is, but you can't load up on melee. I say as Prairie picks Thrall because you really got Anzul.
Can't load up on melee, so go ahead and prove you wrong and do it.
Prove me
right
wrong,
now.
please, guys. Please prove me wrong. I am ready and willing to be proved wrong. But later on in the game, those chain bombs just hurt so bad. So we'll see how they go. But not to say that Thrall and Zul are bad picks, because both Zul and Thrall are very strong picks, very strong laners. Sundering is awesome. Poison Nova's awesome. So they can definitely get a lot of work done. Falstad being snapped up by Elysian real quick. He is very good on this map.
Absolutely, and I'm starting to see now a little bit why Prairie Esports banned the Illidan. They've already snapped up two very good heroes at soloing the camps on the map.
Yep.
And Illidan's already very strong, but in addition to being a strong hero, he's also great at soloing camps. So I actually really like this move so far, and we will get the Rhaegar pick from Elysian. So I'm thinking now that if you're Prairie Esports, you could definitely consider a Sonya ban because you aren't going to pick Sonya. And okay, there we go.
Yep, great call.
And she's also really good at soloing camps.
Yep.
And so they've very much limited that aspect of the game so far.
Yeah, because camps are very important on this map. Very, very important because not only do they give you the mercs, they give you the coins too.
Yeah.
So he who controls the camp really controls the flow of the game in a lot of respects. So Sonya's off the table. So now Elysian has the opportunity to ban either the support they don't want Prairie to have or the tank they don't want Prairie to have.
Yeah, so they actually need to be careful if they ban a tank because they don't have a tank yet. And Prairie's going to have first pick coming out of the ban. So
I assume we'll see maybe an Uther ban.
I think the support
But it is going to be the tank. So they don't want Prairie to have Murden, but like you said, Prairie will probably pick their tank here, which will limit Elysian's choices a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to run ETC, you just could go ETC Uther right there and have the Mosh Pit Divine Shield, which is very strong. Johanna's not bad, I would say, just because you can really apply a lot of pressure to a Kael'thas with Johanna. But yeah, we do see the ETC.
And we'll probably see the Uther coming out.
They actually don't even need to pick Uther. Like, they can just wait and pick Uther last if they want.
Yeah, because...
but they can also hide their last pick,
sure.
So it's really up to them.
So they probably are going to pick Uther last. So Li Ming comes out. That's probably a really good snap-up. Get the other viable mage right now. And Praise is shaping up to be a pretty scary team. A lot of lockdown there.
Yeah, absolutely. And like they really needed that reliable burst. Sorry, like the reliable range damage. And I sort of that was the other route that Elysian could have gone is they could have banned Li Ming at the
Yeah.
midpoint bans because now they have to pick a tank. Muradin's banned. ETC is obviously picked, so now
We'll
they probably go
probably see
Johanna.
Johanna. Yeah, we'll probably see Johanna.
Unless we see something really bizarre like a Chen potentially
I'd be
actually
okay
bring
with
it on this
that.
map.
I mean, I
Yeah.
definitely, you know, I love me some Chen. So we are going to see Zagara picked up. Zagara, very good specialist. She's going to provide a lot of great vision, and
She kind of slipped through here.
yeah, she did. But I mean, just judging from the last few games that we've cast, we haven't seen Zagara hardly at all.
Yeah, I just feel like on this map specifically, she's very good
Mm-hmm.
because you get, even if they clear the creep around the turn end, you see them clearing it.
Well, right now, there's not a whole lot of reliable creep clear on the side of Prairie. You've
Not
got
really.
Feral Spirit, but it has to be on exact. You've got Power Slide, but it's also got to be on exact. So I mean,
I
there's
think
there's not a ton.
if you go Uther, you always have I mean, Uther has the ability to use his W to clear it, which is kind of annoying, but he also does have the ability to take Holy Fire or whatever at 13, whatever his Burning Rage version is called. And I think that that's kind of bad most of the time because you like to have the Shrink Ray in a lot of situations. But against Elysian's comp, you actually might not really need it. Obviously, Shrink Ray is still good, but maybe the Rhaegar is like the best Shrink Ray target probably in
Sure.
most situations. So I could see that if creep becomes a really big problem. It's kind of an adaptation that you could make. It's definitely not one that necessarily needs to be made unless you're really far behind
Yeah.
on clearing out that creep. But yeah, so this comp from Elysian is actually really scary. If they can line up a good Maw and like chain like that's just so much AoE damage, like a great setup for a ton of damage from Kael'thas.
Yeah, it's scary. It's very scary if they hit a good Maw. But at the same time, it's very scary on their side if ETC gets a good mosh pit because Uther can basically guarantee the full duration of that mosh pit with a D shield.
Yeah, if there wasn't so much melee on the side of Prairie, with the Zagara, you could almost make an argument for Hinterland's Blast because of the setup from Maw. But yeah, like I feel you really need the Gust with that front line.
Yeah.
You're gonna need it.
Yeah.
But that's the
Alright.
other thing that can happen actually that
Yeah.
we didn't talk about is Maw Gust.
Mm-hmm.
So Maw, a couple people are in it. You wait about a second and a half, and then you throw out the Gust, and as soon as they come out, you just nuke them.
Yep.
So really scary. Even if they only hit one or two people, that Maw could easily be fatal to people.
Yeah, because it's just splitting the team up, which allows for much easier focus firing.
Yeah.
All right, just waiting for 2 more players to ready up here, and then we'll be going. All right, guys, getting into the game. Elysian Esports versus Prairie Esports starts now.
Oh, you timed that perfectly.
Boom.
I love it. Boom.
Boom.
Wow.
There we go.
All right.
Blackheart's Bay.
Is that a Master Gazlo portrait?
Is it?
I think so. Rip.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but
Ooh, specialist master there. Gonna have to be
Yeah.
careful.
too bad we couldn't see some Gazlord.
I know, because he's not horrible right now. Still
I mean,
not the best, but
yeah.
you shush. You shush. Over on the side of Elysian Esports, we have Tiger on Johanna, Convictions on Falstead, Torshul on Zagara, Frankie on Rhaegar, and Hope on Kael'thas.
And on the side of Prairie Esports, we have a Zord in the house, Smash Zord playing Thrall. Love letters on Li Ming, and I feel she'll be sending a couple arcane love letters in this game.
Yep.
Taylor Swift representing the Silver Hand as Uther. Blackout playing ETC and Harshon playing Zool.
Well, we got the easy Falstad fly up and grab the eye. Nothing too surprising there. 5-man party bush up top.
Oh, Falstad gets hit immediately by the power slide. Goodbye. Tigre is in a lot of trouble. Will blow Iron Skin, but also fall. So actually, they give up 2 kills right at the beginning. They do a fair amount of damage, but this, I mean, really gain no advantage. They don't actually get any kills.
All they've got right now is Zagara on the bottom. They may lose a minion or 2, but completely worth it in this situation, especially getting double kills. Chess have spawn. It's going to be Smash Sword versus Zagara on the bottom. And this is going to be, or should be, a very even lane. But Smash is taking a lot of damage from those minions right now.
So Prairie does get the coins up top. But meanwhile, it looks like Torshul is going to get the 5 on bottom. So that's like an even trade in terms of coins between these 2 teams.
And this is what's really nice about Zagara. She's got that creep all around, so Blackout couldn't go around for the gank, which really helped them out. But on top, we do have the eye back. Going in on Harshon, a little bit of damage, but he's going to be fine. Just a little too close to his towers still, not going to be able to do much.
I want to point one talent pick out here. We have Shade taken for Zool, which is the auto attack dodging.
Yep.
On bone armor. A little bit strange against this composition if you think about it at level 1. So they don't have a ton of strong auto attack damage because we might see a mage stat build. It looks kind of like we will. However, once Kael'thas picks up that auto attack talent, which it looks like he may do, that will help a lot to avoid damage.
Because
so it's actually kind of a long-term investment.
I played that build earlier today, and it wrecks some faces.
That's why they're nerfing it.
Yep, that is exactly why they're nerfing it. Bottom lane, we're just pretty much trading back and forth, which is not too surprising. Zagara and Thrall are fairly equal as far as lane power goes. Might just give a slight edge to Zagara just because of her range, but they should be able to trade fairly equally. And then we just really have the 4-man rotations, a lot going on between middle and top here. Hope taking an orb to the face. Conviction's coming up, but Blackout's going to be right there to make sure he doesn't go in too far.
I want to point out one more talent here. Li Ming took Force Armor, which is when you use magic missiles, you get Spell Block. This is not a common pick.
It is not.
This is an adaptation to the Falstad Kael'thas combination, but a little bit of a rare pick. So I want to see how that works out as we get into especially the later stages for Falstad when he's got that hammerang damage really built up.
Yeah.
See how much of a difference that can really make in keeping her alive.
I'm sure this has to be kind of annoying for Prairie, because they really want to come down here and gank this Zagara so bad. But Zagara's done a really good job of getting that creep set up at a time. And Uther actually falls in the middle lane.
Yep. It was a great gravity lapse, actually, that enabled that. But Blackout's going to get the engage here with the power slide. Nice gravity lapse to fuel for the team. Now Blackout is the one that's forced to back up. Really great job from Hope so far on Kael'thas. Really landing those gravity lapses and both enabling kills and protecting his teammates.
And a lot of people forget the Verdant Sphere's empowered gravity lapse.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite strong.
Yeah, and he's actually invested in Netherwinds at 4. So feeling confident about his ability to hit those gravity lapses and get the mana back. And now we also have Gravity Crush at 7, so the increased damage. And based on his performance so far landing those, I have to admit that is an interesting pick, and I think it will work out pretty well.
Yeah. Thrall coming down, trying to get the gank on Zagara. Feral Spirit unfortunately misses, though. They are going to get that, but this should secure them the bottom chest.
Meanwhile, on the top, Blackout just barely gets out. He took both hits from the Hammerang, and it looked like he might fall.
85 health.
Yeah,
Josh. 85
was so
health.
Close. It was so close.
Prairie manages to secure all 5 coins in the bottom. Falstad flies down, but it's not going to be quite soon enough. I believe Elysian grab the coins up top.
And both teams are actually able to turn in. Conviction's trying to chase down the Sleeman. Conviction's been doing a great job of aggressive positioning, but now Blackout gets a power slide. Torshul is really just days are numbered, and that is 5 coins going over to Prairie Esports.
That's a big win for Prairie. Even with the creep there, the sheer amount of people, they just bodied him completely. Falstad's going to be forced to pull back out of there. They're really going to have a hard time fighting this without Zagara. So many coins on the side of Prairie right now, and there's going to be a fight breaking out, and Prairie's actually going to have to back up. They've taken a little too much poke.
Kind of a questionable decision for everybody to just spam the turn in there, because they basically gave up the ability to zone out like that, and Blackout was trying to do what he could. But it did not work out, and everybody getting hit by that Johanna Condemn was pretty much a like relieving moment.
And that actually lost them the first turn in too.
Yeah, and Blackout in a ton of trouble, just caught on the other side of the team. Great gravity laps again from Hope, and ETC will surrender those 4 coins that he had on his person. So.
At the same time, Hashorn up here as Zul is doing a really good job soaking while everybody else was kind of fighting in multiple lanes, keeping that XP super close. Both teams should hit 10 about the same time.
Oh yeah, and he's really drained the ammo on these towers. Like, look at these towers in mid and top, like very, very low ammo on both. So
yeah, he's been doing a great job top bottom or top mid rotation.
That's just going to be something now that they will eventually get an XP advantage unless you know, Elysian really focuses on countering that push. And we do have heroics for both teams now. We're waiting on Uther. Okay, we do get Divine Shield for Uther. It's pretty much all what you'd expect on the side of Prairie Esports. Poison Nova for Zul, and on the other side for Elysian, basically again what you'd expect.
This sets up an incredibly scary mosh pit, Josh. We have mosh pit D shield into Poison Nova and Disintegrate.
And then as soon as the mosh pit ends, you can also sunder. Obviously, you don't want to sunder during the mosh pit.
No, because that would knock them out of the mosh pit. Yeah. But the nice thing is Prairie Esports was able to get turned in. Smash Sword had 9 coins on him. He really wanted to get rid of those, so he was able to drop all those off. And they got their first turn in too. And so far, Josh, things have been really even.
Yeah, things are very even for the moment. In terms of coins, we actually have 11 coins in the hands of both teams right now. They both have a turn in, so XP extremely close. Structure's very close. So at this point, like you said, anyone's game really.
Yeah, for sure. Prairie with just a slight XP lead right now. They're trying to clean up these giants in the bottom while allowing their own giants to push. Uther, Taylor Swift is singing a tune to Blackheart, giving him 5 coins.
Nice Taylor Swift.
I gotta try. It's rough. It's a rough life.
Blackout again is in danger. He will just walk away from that, thankfully. I do want to note the majority of coins on the side of Elysian are on Johanna. She has 10.
So in some ways that's good because she's going to be the sturdiest, right? But in some ways that's bad because once your tank starts getting too many coins, then that starts to hinder the ability to engage safely. They're going to try and get this turn in. Prairie Esports sniffing this out. A lot of damage. Another beautiful gravity lapse. Blessed Shield misses though. Phoenix goes out. Blackout trying to get in position for a good mosh pit, but doesn't quite get the positioning he wants. And now both teams just poking back and forth.
Yeah, and really good restraint from Blackout actually to not throw the mosh pit down there. You could see he would get at least one person there, but he just held off on it. Now, both teams are going to be able to fight over these chests that have just come up. But in the bottom is really dangerous. Blackout way ahead of his team. Gets hit by the gravity laps. So much damage coming in from Falstad and Kael'thas. The Sun Ring doing nothing. And wow, that was just, he was so far ahead of his team. And even in the top, Tiger is actually doing a good job here of picking up some points also and pushing Hearthstone off.
Yeah.
Although it looks like Prairie is going to respond.
And so, we should point out Blackout got rolling like a stone at level 1. Which, this can be a double-sided deal, right? Because, yes, it's awesome. It allows you to reach further, but at the same time, it can overextend you far more than you'd like it to.
I actually like it against this team because they don't have a lot of a front line, and you want to get to the back line for the mosh pit. But you're right, you have to be aware of your positioning relative to the rest of your team. And now we're trying to prevent a turn-in here, Prairie Esports. Look at Blackout. He was seen by the creep anyways, but I like the pathing there because he's just trying to say, like, I will go on this team. I will go and I will mosh you. So much damage from Conviction. Blackout way ahead of his team. 1v1ing the Zagara. He has to be really careful. Now his team is forced to rotate around the other side just to make sure he doesn't get caught out there.
It was an excellent hammering by Convictions. It hit everybody at the turn-in, which was fantastic because multiple members have 4 coins on the side of Prairie Esports. They're ready. They want this turn-in so bad. Blackout, taking massive amounts of damage, tries to get a mosh pit off. D-Shield forced to go down. The Ancestral hits Convictions and Blackout falls. And now Prairie is going to be forced to back up. They cannot engage this without their tank.
Good news is that the mosh pit did not actually go off, so it is not actually on cooldown. It went on a short cooldown, but yeah, they are forced to give up the turn-in. They are forced to basically just back out, and again, I just felt like Blackout was a bit far ahead of his team. It was sort of a panic mosh pit. The Divine Shield arriving slightly too late to prevent the interrupt, and at this point, Prairie Esports basically has to just do something else on the map. They're going to do their bruiser.
Yeah, which is a good idea, but at the same time, this has given Elysian the ability to grab some of their stuff a little more unhindered. They go ahead and grab the bottom bruiser camp, which is going to push into this fort, which doesn't really have any defenses anymore, so someone's probably going to have to clean that up, or that fort's going to be in real trouble of falling. And as we said before, on this map, structures are incredibly important because you can win through PvE, and the only way to stop that is structures.
Oh wow, Blackout lands a 2-person mosh pit, disintegrate. Poison Nova hitting 3 people, Hope taking a lot of damage, but Prairie Esports getting mowed down. 4 people hit by Flame Strike. Those coins are gone, and Elysian can cash those in right away with a very decisive team fight win.
So this is huge for Elysian. If Hope had died there, I don't think that battle would have turned out the same. But the problem was D-Shield was not used on the mosh pit. And that allowed Gust to do its work.
Yeah.
And that is actually what ended up ruining that team fight, because Mosh was cut short, Hope was not able to be killed, and the AoE damage from the clumped up Prairie Esports was just too much, and everyone just blew up.
Yeah, I mean, Hope and Convictions turned around and wrecked all of Prairie Esports, basically. They were all grouped up, and there was a massive Flame Strike that did a ton of damage, and Convictions has been very aggressive in trying to maximize the damage and deter Prairie Esports, and just, it was so much damage. Like, it seemed like Prairie Esports lost most of their health in a second.
Yeah. Tiger now turning in. It's going to be really hard. Prairie's going to try and come in to stop this, but he does get all 12 coins in, and that's a big win for Elysian right there. Getting those 12 coins off their tank.
They are just short of a turn-in. Meanwhile, Prairie has enough to turn in it, but now we do have the chest. And this should seal the deal for Elysian. At the very least, they're going to have enough to turn in. They will rotate first also, so now it's really on Prairie to say, are we going in on this? Are we going to stop it? But
the problem
is no.
Prairie is not 16 yet. They just hit it, so now they can engage, but it's not going to be in time.
Yeah, I thought for sure that if they had just started moving that way, they would get 16 about the time they showed up. But it was already maybe a bit too late to start rotating at that point, and they just decided to finish off the chest.
And in some ways, I think that may have been a good call. They didn't have the positioning at all. Elysian was there and set up already. So honestly, they probably saved themselves a little bit. They do have a turn-in. They're going to try and clear this creep so that Elysian doesn't know their every move. The creep is gone, but man, we've already got a keep down on the side of Prairie, and the defenses for the top keep are falling fast.
And Elysian's actually rotating to the turn-in here just to try and prevent the turn-in. They only have 8 coins, so they can't actually get more cannons, whereas Prairie's certainly able to do so. They have 13 available, and Prairie's actually just going to let them turn in, like I said, they don't. Elysian does not have the turn in.
No.
So they're just basically banking their coins and
We're
preventing them from falling into enemy
right
hands.
now. We're on the same talent tier. D Shield and Mosh Pit are up. All Prairie needs is a good combo to get the Poison Nova, the Disintegrate, and then the Sundering off at the end to finish it off, and they'll be in really good shape. But I think they're just a little scared right now, Josh.
I can't say I blame them. At the 16 actually is very big for Elysian. We have Earth Grasp Totem for Rhaegar, and combined with Chain Bombs and Flame Strikes and Hammerangs, like that's a lot of slowing and damage that can be thrown down immediately. But you're right, they do seem a little bit hesitant about this. They're going to back up and do their Bruiser. As for Elysian, they're just going to go and do this bottom Bruiser.
Well, this is... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
This is the nice thing right now about Elysian's comp, is that they don't need to watch the turn-in. They've got Zagara, and she's, pooped out all sorts of creep all over that thing. They know exactly when Prairie Esports goes to the turn-in. So they can do whatever, and as soon as they see a hint of somebody, they can just rotate up.
That's why I was so surprised to see Zagara fall that far, because this is like just a clinic of why Zagara is so good on this map. Now Prairie looking like they want to posture maybe around the turn-in, but yeah, again, convictions, finding some hammering damage before the fight.
The thing is, Josh, they're going to have to do something soon. Because now, the slow stalling tactic is only going to hurt them, because Elysian's going to hit 20 a good level and a half to 2 levels before them. And their window of fighting on the same talent tier is closing slowly, and not only that, Elysian's just getting more coins. They've almost got a turn-in right now.
Yeah, their window of opportunity is closing rapidly. Blackout's just trying to clear some creep here, tanking some roaches. If they could get a turn-in, that would help a lot to close the XP gap.
Yeah, this turn-in, oh gosh. They need to do it one at a time right now. They need their zoning. Blackout trying to do that as much as he can. Smash and Love Letters finally able to turn in. Blackout's a little far. He may need to power slide away. He's getting really low.
Oh, and Earthgrass Toad doing so much work. Great Sundering to peel. Flame Strike doing nothing. Blackout goes back in with the power slide, and he's trapped on the other side of that Mon. That's it. He drops those coins. Now Taylor Swift will fall also. And this is just currently a rout as Prairie Esports tries to get away. Conviction says no. Gust in the face of Zool and Li Ming. Zool's dead, and Li Ming follows quickly.
Wow. This is horrible for Prairie Esports. And it sucked because you could tell Blackout wanted to go in there for the mosh pit, but the Maw came out and cut off Uther, completely cutting off the D shield and the heals. And now Elysian's going to go and try to finish this game.
Yeah, this is going to be game. Great shot calling. I mean, they had 4 down. It was obvious they could end, but it's just good to see that sort of confidence coming up from Elysian. And, despite the fact that the game was pretty even for the first part, I'd say argue right up until about level 13, if I remember correctly, Elysian in the late game really took command of the XP lead. They got 21st, and they took advantage of it.
Honestly, their team fights were just tighter.
Yeah.
That really is what sealed Prairie Esports' fate. The problem is the ETC Mosh Pit Divine Shield combo really never materialized. And the one time it could, the D Shield didn't go down, Gust went out, and that screwed everything up. Ancestral went off, and they were just AoE down.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe there wasn't, between the members of Prairie, a little bit of frustration with some of the early plays that happened, and some communication that